Feature Friday.
The freshest. Alright, so this video had been sent through quite a lot. Is the Philippine Madrigal singers in this restaurant-like setting actually happened like a few days ago and is going super viral. Again,
we just checked out a couple of the Madrigal singers.
Yeah.
And they seem to do this all the time. I might call them the restaurant singing menaces.
No, I just think that I'm expecting the gates of heaven to open with this like impromptu sesh.
Well, okay. Fuck me.
I told ya. Bro, what on the earth? I told ya.
Imagine that you end your food and then they're like, "Oh my God, where's our wallet? We don't have it." And then,
can we pay? Do you accept any other form of method of payment?
It's like cryptocurrency, no. PayPal, no.
Do you take heavenly choir?
Yeah, singing, yes.
Wow.
Also, that looks like turrón.
Oh. You know what's funny though?
What is turrón in English?
Turrón is
It doesn't look like turrón. It looks more like milhoja.
no, okay. Turrón is nougat.
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 N-O-U.
No, N-U.
N-U?
Yeah.
All right.
N-U. Nougat, I think.
Yeah, it's like this white shit.
Can I just have
White paste.
Can I just have a moment? Because what I like about this choir-like settings is that you get like all the really intricate harmonies to be like a pinnacle character in the story development of the song. Like, for example, because there's so many voices in that specific set of harmonies that they become very prevalent, like the ninths or like the seconds.
Yep.
They are such weird notes, like naturally in pop music and popular music, ballads or anything to do with the normal like streamable music, the most complex thing that you could hear is possibly a seventh on a harmony setting from a vocal standpoint. But what is so magical about this, that I think that's also what you hear in the classics of the Disney classics from the 1950s or even way before that, is those really close seconds in the harmonies, or the really nicely put ninths with the sevenths, and they still have the thirds and the fifths working through. So you have this whole like angelic that shouldn't work, but it still does. And because there's so many voices working in the same, like, I don't know, like the same frequency, when you hear it all together, it sounds like that. And the resonance doesn't really depend anymore on like the space that you're singing it in, because there's just so many of them, and it creates that natural church-like sound. It is so freaking magical.
I think if any of that didn't make any sense.
Sorry.
No. I think that there's a good example of that. Like there was a video you were watching of Jacob Collier.
I'm gonna put it on. Yes.
He was essentially explaining to people who, because it was a very big crowd, so I presume not everyone may understand, and I presume it's the same as this. It's like this is probably gonna get watched by a few thousand people, right? So it's like to presume that all the few thousand people would acknowledge or know that sort of depth of harmonies, it's probably unlikely. But there's a good physical example of that with Jacob, in which he, even if the people didn't know what the fuck was happening, they are introducing different layers well, they're harmonizing with each other, and they're introducing these sort of ideas of ninths and fifths and thirds and seconds. That way, that's what this does so well. That's what the madrigal singers do so well, in which it encapsulates not only one sound, but it encapsulates many sounds, making you feel as if you were.
Gives this ethereal sound, like overall composition.
And they actually,
so ethereal.
I feel the reason why this happens is
unnatural, it's
because, yeah, natural might be a good way to say it, because you're not naturally exposed to this, or not, maybe not naturally, usually exposed to this, because most people, what they listen to, it's sort of dictated by mainstream media, and mainstream media doesn't exploit other harmonies apart from
the fifth and the thirds,
and that's it. You will never really see much exposure to this unless you are a fan of madrigal singers, or
unless you've been brought up in the classical training ground, which I think if you are a classical musician, then you most definitely, but you know that you're not gonna find that outside of, like, I don't know, jazz maybe.
Or let's say you're from the Philippines, right? And you grew up in the country, and there's obviously big karaoke, big singing culture. And you might know how to do seconds, thirds, fifths, ninths.
Naturally, you're inclined to it, yeah.
Because you've experimented so much.
Correct.
You've put yourself through the fire so much, unwillingly, because you're just doing karaoke sessions, sat inuman, drunk off your head. So you might not know what you're doing, but you're essentially utilizing these harmonies. Or I think as well, in a place like the Philippines, you might have a broader understanding as well, because some of the best choirs in the world actually come from the Philippines. I didn't know this. The Madrigal is just one example, but there are plenty of other great
that's true.
Choirs. But yeah.
Go back a little bit.
One of the workers is singing.
Goodness. Oh my goodness.
You know what's funny as well? Like, someone just walked into the restaurant. Also, this restaurant looks like a vibe. What is it called? The kitchen of something.
Leve.
Kitchen is seasoned love or some shit.
Oh, kitchen. The kitchen is
Maybe it's
seasoned.
Manila Bulletin. Maybe that's just the.
Our kitchen is seasoned with love.
Probably. Or this kitchen, maybe. I have no idea. But that looks like a vibe, bro. They have like big, it's like big, we didn't really used to have this. Actually, this type of location reminds me of Christmas. Plus the choir is fucking Christmas. But yeah, you don't really get restaurants like that. Maybe they just hired the whole thing as well.
Could be.
They're doing well for themselves, so it wouldn't surprise me. But maybe they hired the whole thing. But you don't usually get those big. Like, what the fuck do you say the word comedor? I can't speak English. Diners, big diners, yeah.
Dining space, yeah.
Yeah, you don't really get big diners like this. They're all sort of mesh up together. I think that's also quite popular in Asia.
Oh yeah, because I do think like eating is such a communal thing as well.
Yeah, that's
I don't think in South America, at least not in Venezuela, it's
the whole thing
not
of
like
sharing
that.
and
No,
stuff,
that's
that's
definitely not
crazy
it.
to me, dude.
Yeah, I know.
I would do it because obviously you're in there, you abide to their fucking rules.
Yeah,
but like
but
say you're in
I
my
know.
house, you fucking ask.
Wow.
And then if you take off of my plate without asking, oh my gosh.
I'm a witness. I lived through that nightmare.
Yeah, that's one of my pet peeves. When someone like grabs like that off of
Weirdo.
your plate. What are your manners?
But what do you mean? Food is to share. Food is to share.
Anyways, I'm gonna say one more time. I know some of the Madrigal members do watch the videos and stuff and the
Big
reviews,
love
and
to
that's
you all.
obviously a huge honor and a huge privilege. Come on the podcast. Don't be shy. We can mix it with Tagalog, you know? Pangarap ko magmahal between siziw.
Okay. Wow.
hanggang dito.
Oh,
Nalang. You know?
Oh, wow, okay.
Also, talking about that, we are performing at the 1MX. So we do have a day available, 1st of October. VIP tickets have been sold out, so shout out to everyone. I think probably was Saturday. This is probably your last day to enter the giveaway if you want to enter.
correct.
Just drop us an email with your contact information, who you're looking forward to watching. It is in London, so you have to make your way, but at least your tickets will be sorted. I know we have people watching from all over the world. But apart from that, shout out to everyone. Thanks for recommending this.
Yeah, absolutely freaking dreamy. Anything the Madrigals is always an absolute joy to review. I love everything they do, and their takes on some of the most popular songs, some of the popular OPMs, their versions of them is like a completely brand new way of music, and I love it. I love it.
Let us know what you'd like us to watch next. And
Yes.
apart from that, goodbye.